Hi. So I thought I'd just highlight a book what isn't necessarily readily available, but you can get it for quite a reasonable price if you look on eBay. And I think it's just like a really cool, fun introduction to a character that has been very popular for right and also sadly wrong reasons because of politics in the past 20 plus years. And that is The Punisher. So reason I want to highlight this one, I got this for about £7, £8 on eBay. It's because obviously Marvel's got this annoying thing. What I like about DC, they do a lot of evergreen books where they keep them in stock. If it, maybe the format will change, but they'll keep them in stock with the same contents ongoing forever. Marvel hardly ever do that. And why I like this one, it's called The Punisher Returns to the Big Nothing. It's because it's basically comprises of three. Back in the 90s, Marvel used to do these big, oversized hardcover graphic novels, and this comprises of three of those, and each of the hardcover graphic novels had about 64 pages in. So you get three different aspects of the Punisher by three different writers and three different artists. So the first one is my favourite one. It's Punisher Return to Big Nothing, and this was like a natural success. This is the 5 or 6 issue miniseries that came out in the 80s by Mike Zeck and Stephen Grant. So this is it's the same team again. Stephen Grant on writing, Mike Zeck on pencils, John Beatty on inks, and then you've got after that Punisher Assassin's Guild, written by Joe Duffy, who's a very underappreciated writer, with art by Jorge Savino, who was an amazing artist. He did a series back in the 80s called Winterworld, which there was some collections done, I think, by IDW, so I do recommend hunting them out if you can on eBay. And the weakest one, but it's good for the art, but unfortunately, the writer, Mike Baron, he's become a real MAGA asshole now. He's extremely right wing. His politics, he's become an angry, bitter old man, and he blames everybody else apart from himself. But the art by Bill Reinhold still stands the test of time. Really, really cool art. You don't see much of Bill Reinhold nowadays. He used to be a real good artist on comics like The Badger. But the star of the show definitely is Return to Big Nothing because nobody does the Punisher like Mike Zeck. And like I said, this was a really fun sequel to the miniseries that they both did. And I think what this is where a lot of other writers got the idea of delving into Frank's Vietnam past because this does quite a lot of flashback, and it's just if you want to see like some of the best comic art out there, you can't do much better than Mike Zeck. I just adore his artwork. So it's a really really cool one and done story, like all the other two stories in here as well. And another one which is show you a bit more. Another one that is definitely worth reading is the second story, which is Assassin's Guild. I mean, just look at Jorge Savino's cover. His art was just so brutal and dark and stylish. Sadly, I don't think he was utilised to his best powers in America. They should have given him some creator-owned stuff to do, or some epic titles or Vertigo titles. Instead, he was just put on one shots and a few miniseries. I think he did a series called Terror for Dark Horse for Epic, and like I said, Winterworld. I think Winterworld's the one series where he really shined, but his art in this is just a masterpiece as well. There was such an energy and grittiness to him. Very, very street level Punisher story, and like I said, Joe Duffy, they really know how to write a good tense storyline. And the final one is to show you some more art. The final one of the triptych is Punisher Intruder. Like I said, this one definitely is the weakest one of the bunch. Mike Baron's not a bad writer. He had some good stuff in 89. I love Nexus. It's only reading it as an adult, I realised how some of his tropes were quite problematic. There's like germs of how he's become now, even back then. But his Punisher was good, but it can be very workmanlike at times. Chuck Dixon, another one, who's a MAGA asshole. He actually wrote, I think, the better Punisher stuff from the 90s. But it's worth it for the art. I mean, you get 2 really good stories and 1 average story in this trilogy of tales. So I'll read the synopsis on the back. It says Frank Castle's relentless war continues in a trio of hard-hitting graphic novels. And it says, first of all, there's a modern classic reuniting the creative team behind the Punisher's first solo series, like I mentioned. And Frank has a run-in with an old sergeant that takes him back to his Vietnam days. But this time they're on opposite sides. Then a car accident leads to a killing spree with the Punisher at the center. But will the members of Japanese Assassins Guild become his allies, or are they out for Frank's blood? And a secret society is using murder to further its political ends. But slaughtering an innocent family puts its members in the Punisher's sights. From brutal hand-to-hand combat to aerial dogfights, these extra-life epics have it all. So yeah, highly recommend this. Like I said, you can find this readily on eBay for a reasonable price. It's a good lucky bag of prime Punisher tales from the 90s without breaking your bank. And it give, if you want to just have a taste of what Punisher's like, or if you're enjoying the Benjamin Percy run at the moment and the Jimmy Palmiotti run, I think this would be right up your street. So yeah, it comes with a high recommendation for me. It's just a fun read. Like I said, 2 really strong stories and 1 average tale, so that's not too bad. And that's The Punisher: Return to Big Nothing. Bye.